So that concludes the general knowledge round. Mrs. Wilson, you have the most points, so you go first with British Lawnmowers, 1947.
Tonight we present a new comedy horror, a radio drama with pictures for those with a vivid imagination. Radio Ponticum's Vampire Guitar. Remember, it's all in the mind of the listener. The mind of the listener. The mind of the listener. The mind of the listener.
When Sir Lancelot Walters Wynne murdered his wife for her infidelity, his mother-in-law for having given birth to his wife, and his children for having been born to his wife, he knew he was doomed. He killed himself by leaping off a tower. In 1774, suicide was an unforgivable sin. And Lancelot's soul, so it was thought, was condemned to eternal torture. He was buried by a small, grey tree within sight of his great house. As the tree grew, it fought with the elements. If there was a warm wind, its branches hissed and assaulted the balmy air. It quivered irritably if the sun's rays touched its bark. The tree was only content when it could poke and stab at passing clouds. Its leaves rustled menacingly when people walked past on their way to church. And as time passed, the roots matured into grasping, greedy tentacles that crawled slowly but inevitably towards Lancelot's aging coffin. It was in more recent times that I became involved, and it all happened in Ponticum, South Wales. The town's open-air market had been established for hundreds of years and was famous for its gaudy fabrics. Two young dreamers, a musician and his tone-deaf friend, approached the store.
Oh, this would make an amazing shirt.
Bit loud, isn't it?
No one else wears this kind of stuff. Here, how much would I need to make up a shirt?
This household fabric, son. What do you want a shirt from this for?
He's going into showbiz.
What as? A curtain? £2 to you, pal. And it's dry clean only.
The young men left hurriedly. A storm was brewing in hell. Strong winds howled through the local woods, blasting and beating everything into a pulp. A huge grey tree near the churchyard was riddled with age and was weakening. When it crashed to earth, it sank into Sir Lancelot's decaying casket. In the town, behind the high walls of Ponticum University, another kind of trouble was brewing. As Bramble, the night porter, was making his tour of the quadrangle, he passed the ancient library and saw a mysterious light. He decided to act immediately and ran up the staircase.
Don't move! The police have been called and they're on their way. What's your business here? Oh, Professor Van Hellbent Jr. I'm sorry, I didn't realise it was you, sir.
That's all right, Bramble. I was just on my way to a fancy dress party and wanted to check my costume was correct. 14th century fakirs wore a particular type of cloak, you know. They were Eastern mystics.
Oh, of course, sir. I mustn't act with such alarm next time I see a strange light on in the very valuable and irreplaceable old manuscript room. I beg your pardon,
Right,
sir.
I'm Inspector Smollett. What's going on here, then? Who's the mad intruder in the hoodie?
Ah, The Professor was doing some unscheduled research. I'm afraid that I acted rather hastily.
That's right, Inspector. I was just confirming the historical accuracy of my costume when I was, disturbed.
Confirming your costume? Don't you realise police time is valuable, gentlemen? We could have been apprehending robbers, having important meetings in the pub, or tearing around the estate in the squad car, instead of wasting taxpayers' money on you academics.
I was that man in the turquoise jacket, and this strange and terrifying story was about to test my powers of investigation as nothing had before. A few miles up the road from Pawelko, the storm damage had been cleared. The tree that had crushed Lancelot's coffin was hauled off to a timber yard, where it would be processed and occasionally tortured. Meanwhile, I had one of my odd turns and knocked over a test tube at a potential crime scene.
What on earth are you doing here? Van Hellbent Jr. This is a highly sensitive area. You haven't taken up industrial espionage, have you now? Working for the Plastic Banana Company, are we?
Professor Vaseline, apologies for entering your lab uninvited. I don't know what came over me. Please excuse me. If there's any damage, please charge it to me personally.
Odd character. Just like his great-great-uncle, Augustus Van Hellbent. Specialized in the undead, you know.
What? Vampires?
Yes. Chilling thought, isn't it? But he really believed in the power of ancient folk tales.
But blood-sucking demons...
They may be the stuff of nightmares to you and I, but the Van Hellbents have made them a family speciality. Demons, werewolves, witches, hobgoblins, and superstition are their stock in trade. Van Hellbent Jr. is obsessed by it all.
Professor Vaseline had something to hide and made sure his secret and illegal activities, which I will reveal later, had not been uncovered.
My work is so important. I really cannot have it disturbed by anyone, especially by that fool!
Of course.
Hellbent Jr. has occasional attacks of dislocation. He ends up in various places, usually in some ridiculous costume. It's as if he's engaged on some search for an answer to a riddle that he can't quite put his finger on.
After being processed, Sir Lancelot's tree was sold to a factory that made cheap guitars. The wood had a curious red stain running through it, but as all the guitars were to be painted, that wasn't a problem. The problems were in the office. The factory owner and his young brother-in-law were at each other's throats again.
I've never known anyone as lazy, as unpunctual, and as unreliable as you, Frankie. You're a bloody disgrace. Well, your shirt is anyway. And as for pulling your weight, it takes you an hour to get to work, and that's after you get here.
Hang on. You only got this business because my sister was a widow and she must have been blind, drunk and cockeyed when she met you.
Do you know, I've developed an attachment for you, pal, and I'm going to fit it over your fucking dirty little mouth.
You can stuff your job. Who wants to paint canteen walls anyway, when I should be designing new guitars? Well, I don't know what makes you tick, fat ass, but I hope it's a bomb.
As Frankie stormed out, he stole a set of factory keys. Then he made for the Black Cat Inn, where he plotted his revenge with the help of the local brew, a heady mixture guaranteed to ferment your brain.
Another bottle of old screw loose, if you will, tavern keeper.
While Frankie drank the night away, a Founders' Day function at the university was in full flow. Naturally, I was invited, but have to confess, I was slightly befuddled again.
Now, sir, shall we go this way? I'm sure the good professor would like some fresh air.
Do you know, Bramble, I'm beginning to worry about the frequency of these attacks. Frankie, fueled by old screw loose, sneaked back to the factory and broke in. He stole some guitar components and found what he thought was a suitable piece of wood to shape into a new guitar body. The embryonic guitar pulsed as it absorbed drops of blood. Something must be up.
Quite, sir. But let's not disturb the other guests. There's a good chap.
Not the sort of thing you'd expect of a man hell-bent.
He's not dangerous, is he?
Bloody disgrace.
As I stumbled away from the Great Hall, I passed by a portrait of my great-great-uncle. It was said that August van Hellbent knew what he was talking about better than anyone else alive. He knew about obscure diseases, ancient remedies, myths and legends, new technologies, and he had the truest of hearts. As his great-great-nephew, I hoped to uphold the family reputation. This was the apartment block where young Frankie lived. Here he toyed with his ill-gotten gains, and as the night wore on, his guitar started to look like the real thing. But then he cut himself again. He raised the guitar to see if it was straight and placed the base of the body against his neck. Suddenly, the machine heads appeared to turn of their own accord. Then the wire strings sprang at him, wrapped themselves around his body and tightened around his neck. His screams turned to gasps, and his youthful flesh was drained of its lifeblood. Frankie died when his heart gave up. Vampires, the evil immortals, and all those who inhabit the deleterious darkness usually take their blood in installments. After a few days, their victims become like their masters and need to find new prey. If all the blood is taken at once, the poor unfortunate will die. The guitar was a killer. The next morning, a friend called.
Frankie, it's me, Sticky. Open up. Look, I know you're in. Come on, pal.
Sticky waited and then gave the door a push. You never know. It opened, and he entered the flat cautiously. Sticky was a roadie in the music business with a sideline as a pusher. His drug of choice was made from the finest horseradish money could buy.
You still out of it? Come on, you lazy lob. Frankie? Frank! Where are you, Bat? Just want a few quid, like, come on. You promised to cough up today. Gordon takes care of you, doesn't he? I gotta buy more sauce.
Sticky hit the floor and came face to face with Frankie's slashed throat. He did not leave empty-handed. Ponticum's new police car arrived soon after. The mystery caller had been quite specific about the location of the body.
So, he appears to have topped himself in some way. Maybe he was depressed after losing his job. Maybe he had girlfriend trouble. Maybe he cut himself shaving with a chisel.
But Inspector Smollett missed a distinctive mark obscured by the blood and gore. Grimwade's was a second-hand shop that stocked old machines, broken dreams, and junk of all sorts. A guitar appeared on one of the cabinets.
What'll you give us for it then?
Well, it's got a weird finish on it. Looks just half-painted to me. Not going to be worth much in that state. Tell you what, I can scrape up 20 quid, but that's it. I'm doing you a favour.
Look, I'm a bit short this week.
You look tall enough to me. Listen, it's still 20 quid.
That guitar hung about for a few days. Then a new customer came in.
So what do you think, mate? Serious rock and roll tackle or what?
I wouldn't have it thrown at me. It sounds weird and the strings are like razor blades. You need a pair of gloves to play it. And that paint finish. I saw it in a window a couple of days ago and it's faded since.
Tell you what, pal. 50 quid because I think you got talent and you could do with a break.
Yeah, and I'll break my hand more like. No thanks.
It's just come in. The lad that's just left had to let it go. Something to do with the child support agency. I'm not making anything on it.
So how much do you want for it then?
Kerris Clark's band rehearsed in a part of the city more used to radiator repairs than strummers and drummers.
Guitar looks a bit plastic, eh? Thought you wanted a shiny red one.
Well, it is kinda red. Must be the light in here. Gives it a funny look.
I reckon Sticky's been overdosing on his sauce and can't tell what colour anything is. Hey, Kerris?
Best horseradish you can get, Dylan. Yeah, try some of this, bud.
Don't forget, we're playing tomorrow night.
Scientifically now, you play better when you're on my outlandish horseradish sauce, Brian. Go mad like.
How would you know? You're tone deaf.
Yeah, you can't play a note.
Trouble with you, Sticky, is you don't suffer from insanity. You enjoy it.
Yeah, who's the brains of the organisation? Who got tomorrow night's gig then?
You're right, so let's celebrate with a drink, guys. It's horror night at the Black Cat. Meow!
The Kerris Clark 3+1 took off and headed for Oblivion, or the Black Cat as it was better known.
The other night, I took Kerris home from a party. I put her head on my shoulder.
Over your shoulder, more like.
Right then, I want you to give a sizzling welcome to Sir Lancelot Walters Wynne, storyteller, rhymester, and quidnunc. That's the gossipy newsmonger to you lot.
This evening, I'll make your flesh creep. Aha! My ability to disturb might just be based on the idea that what I say is true as the darkest of nights. I will mix you a strong supernatural brew and will drain the thoughts of Bram Stoker's Dracula. The tomb in the daytime, when wreathed with fresh flowers, had looked grim and gruesome enough. But now, when tarnished brass gave back the feeble glimmer of a candle, the effect was more miserable and sordid than could ever be
shaking
imagined.
like a leaf.
How do you want me to shake?
The vampire hunter, Abraham Van Helsing, went about his work, holding his candle so that he could read the coffin plates, and gripping it so that the waxy sperm dropped in white patches which congealed as they touched the metal. He made assurance of Kerris's coffin, and then searched in his bag for his turn screw. You think you have left me without a place to rest, but my revenge prospers. I spread it over centuries. The girls that you love are mine already, and through them you and others shall yet be mine.
Hey, keep your hands off, you perv.
Dylan, don't.
Fate never wounds more deeply the generous heart than when a blockhead's insult points the dart.
Oi, who you calling a blockhead?
Thank you, Sir Lancelot Walters Wynne, for your ghoulish gifts. His last orders, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, if anybody wants to buy some refrigerated badger steaks, monkey brains, or a lamb shank, it's all going at half price tonight.
When the band stepped out, Dylan was still agitated.
What a load of horseshit. I don't know why you got in the way, Sticky. I should have floored him.
Yeah, right. Didn't want us kicked out, that's all, pal.
Well, he had me worried, especially with all that Kerris and the coffin stuff.
Yeah, that was really odd.
I tell you what, it's such a lovely night. Let's take a short walk through the graveyard.
Carry on, my sweetie pies. You'll soon be lining up for my own waxy white stuff.
It was none other than Professor Vaseline. He was moonlighting. Kerris's band drifted through the grassy walkways of the cemetery, gazing at the ornate headstones and monuments.
See the anchor carvings? They're an early symbol for hope. You know, holding on against the odds. See the circle? That's an unbroken line. That's the idea of eternity.
So what's that pillar mean, Brian?
A sculpted pillar shows strength. The ability to carry on.
Like us roadies.
Hands.
They reached the graveyard's perimeter, beyond which was a tangle of overgrown weeds and spiny foliage that surrounded a ruined mansion.
Hey, look at that. Sir Lancelot Walter's Wynne, Mighty Regent of the Night.
1725 to 1774.
Regent of the Night. Bloody hell, I bet he stayed out late.
I shall raise up the dead, and they shall devour the living.
There's more. I shall make the dead outnumber the living. This Lancelot must have been stark raving evil.
Bet you he actually lives down there for real.
Come on, it's getting cold.
I reckon we should make sure Lancelot doesn't pop out again.
Yeah, like how?
Like drive a stake through the ground, sort of pin him down permanently, stop him annoying the ladies like.
Sticky ripped a piece of wood from the broken down fence. That didn't go down too well.
Come on, Dylan, let's go.
No, I mean it. We'd be doing the peasants round here a favour.
Yeah. See you later, mate. Come on, Keris.
Regent of the Night, prepare to meet your match. What the... What? No! No! Ah!
Sticky pounded away at the stake and felt himself being pulled downwards.
Ah! You demon! Ah! Oh, I'm sorry! Let me go! Ah! Please, let me go, please!
He tried to get up, but he was held fast by the power of the grave.
Brian! Help me! Help me! Somebody! Cardiff!
He was succumbing to the dark horror below him. Someone approached.
Idiot! You're making enough noise to wake the dead. You cretin. You've driven a stake through the bottom of your coat. Now get up before you feel the end of my boot where the moon don't shine. Let's get out of here before we're seen, fathead.
A few days later, as the band rehearsed, Sticky sorted out their van. While he was tidying up, a sleek car came alongside.
Hey, what's up? That's what I paid last time.
You'll need to spread the stuff around a bit more if you want the price to stay firm. You're not buying enough, Sticky. You've got to make the risk worth the trouble.
I'll get some more. We're playing a biker's wedding tonight. That'll be good for a few extra orders. And a new chain on my moped.
Oi, Sticky! Anytime, mate!
As the band drove off to their gig, Keris held her guitar between her legs. After all, it was her favourite object.
You know how to get there?
Yeah, easy. I know the way backwards.
Well, you can drive us in reverse then.
Do you know, Sticky loves music so much. If the Supremes were naked and singing in the bathroom, he'd put his ear to the keyhole.
Well, you know what you'd put in it?
When the van went out of control, an amplifier directly behind Keris shot forward. The guitar strings licked her face and neck, cleaning up the gore and liquids. The instrument immediately appeared to glisten.
Idiot!
Hey, what's with Keris?
Oh, we can't just leave her here. We'll all be done.
Yes, we can!
But it was your fault. You were driving.
Well, can we make it look like she was driving?
But she wasn't.
Yeah, she was!
Oh, we're supposed to be on in a couple of hours. Are you sure Keris can't make it?
Suddenly, the van lurched forward.
Christ's sake, stop the wagon.
Oh, Keris, I should have.
Sticky jumped in and put on the handbrake while Brian moved Keris into the front seat.
Right then. We'll just say that she was getting some fuel while we checked out the venue. Come on.
Weird. Not a lot of blood, was there?
Well, maybe she was sort of anemic. And this looks brand new. Now...
What?
I'm taking this, boys. She owed me a few quid.
It wasn't long before I was on the scene in a ticket collector's uniform. The number 32 bus stop was just beyond where the van had ended up. I found Keris's body and noticed the mark on the side of her neck. It was partly lit by an incoming flashing blue light. Inspector Smollett addressed the small crowd that was gathering.
Right, who got here first? Did anybody see the accident?
Inspector, I got here a few moments after the crash. There's something I'd like to show you.
Don't I know you from somewhere, sir?
Yes, we met at the university. I was dressed...
That's right, I remember. You were dressed like a monk.
Fakir, actually. 14th century.
And what's the occasion tonight? Moonlighted on the buses, are we? Don't the government give you professors a living wage anymore?
I can't fully explain that yet. But I have found something. Look at this. I'm not sure who the killer is, but this suggests a devilish candidate.
Well, it's got a devil-like shape, but it could be an insect. One of them stag-on beetle things. These rock musicians have got wild imaginations. Might be a tattoo.
I think you'll find it's blood, Inspector.
You seem very certain, Professor. Now, what were you doing tonight, did you say?
The police bought the story about Kerris going off for petrol while the band sorted out the venue. The investigating officer concluded that as she had no driving license, she had probably lost control of the van and been killed in the accident. Some days later, Sticky emerged from Guitar City. Behind him, a salesman was already placing Kerris's guitar in the used section of the window. The roadie had received a phone call from a tour manager offering him a job with a sensational new band. They had an American frontman who played like no other. So Sticky decided to spend some of the money he'd made from the guitar on a haircut. He thought it might help him with the grieving process too.
How about if I shave the back in a V-line, curl forward round one ear, creating a great white wall effect, and step my way to the front?
Listen, son, if I wanted sculpture, I'd visit the garden centre, wouldn't I?
Here's an artist, Bill. To him, every hair's a brushstroke on canvas. You should be grateful. Joe looks on your building head like the Sistine Chapel.
Aye, well, let's settle for a Methodist chapel. I can afford one of those.
So, did you go anywhere nice in holidays, Mr. Roberts?
We went to Turkey.
Oh, Istanbul, was it?
No, it were lovely.
And what can I do for you, sir?
I've been thinking about leaving the sides long and having it long on top.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. Your hair's like battered yak's wool.
Is that good?
It's just naturally greasy. I'm going to wash it and see how it takes shape. But I'll also thin the sides vertically to reduce the volume. So, you're in the music biz?
Yeah, I'm a roadie with a new act. Yeah, gonna be big. Bigger than the Stones. Bigger than Gary Glitter. Maybe even bigger than Elvis.
No! Now, early Elvis, he had a great look, didn't he? He used to have this brilliant quiff. It was like a vinyl wave coming to a duck's arse on the back of the neck.
Hey, pal, this ain't 1956.
Well, your hair's your crowning glory. You can become anybody with the right style.
Sticky settled for a cheap trim. Later that day, the new band met the local press.
Mr. Bendix, are you any extensions religious?
All left-handed musicians have much to be grateful for. We do thank the Lord for our gift.
Listen up, folks. The Johnny Bendix Extension will be playing extra dates on this tour. I got the details right here.
Johnny Bendix was a guitarist with great technical ability, who used his instrument to push the limits of his musicianship. He was also fond of yak's blood. The band's manager called.
It's Maxie.
Yeah.
I brought the new roadie up to help get your stuff ready for tonight. All right?
I guess. What's his name?
Sticky. Just Sticky. In you come, boy. See you later, Johnny. And don't take too much of that yak's blood vino. We need you on form. All the music journos will be in the theatre tonight looking for real blood. Know what I mean? Tour just starting and all.
Well, they're going to get it. I am going to rip their guts out on stage.
Atta boy, Johnny. See ya.
As Maxie pirouetted out, Sticky, still limping, went to pick up a portable amplifier Johnny had in his room.
Oh, you could pick that up later, Sticky. Hell, why do they call you Sticky?
Because my surname is Glue.
Oh, jeez, man. I thought you had a wooden leg or something, like a false limb.
My leg. I tripped over a dodgy cable. I'm fine now.
Oh. Hey, you want some of that?
Oh, I can't handle it, Mr. Bendix. Yak's blood makes me shudder.
It's supposed to, man.
I can, however, recommend a gallipot of pure white, outlandish horseradish sauce. It's been refined on the best allotments, if you know what I mean. I can see you enjoy a tipple, Mr. Bendix, but this is the real skull attack.
Back in his own room, Sticky decided he needed to smarten himself up if he was going to impress Maxie.
Trouser press. Electrically heated since 1963. Wow. Let's do the trouser press boogie.
He thought he might save some precious seconds by not taking his jeans off. Unfortunately, his leg became jammed in the rather archaic trouser press.
God, shit!
Sticky, Maxie. Listen, pal. I want to go over to the theatre ahead of the timetable. I've got a few things to iron out over there. I reckon you could drive me over in the van.
Well, it's a bit difficult at the moment.
Good. I'll see you in reception in 2 minutes. Sharp.
Trapped by the alligator on his leg, Sticky made for the door, occasionally batting his leg against the wall to try to break free. He missed the lift and began a painful descent of the stairs.
Oh my God! What's those doors?
Ponticum's Grand Pavilion was about to be hit by the latest music sensation. Maxie, the band's manager, kicked down the doors.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and everything in between.
Let's hear you all put your hands together for
the Johnny Bendix Extension!
After the show, the roadie began to haul the band's equipment out of the theatre.
Hey, Sticky, how's that leg? Wrinkle-free?
Man, what was you thinking?
I wasn't.
You said it, brother. Hey, I'm kind of running out of your saucy sauce. You got to give me some more of that stuff, man. It kind of makes the stage a sort of a happy home. Know what I mean?
Sure thing, Mr. Bendix. I'll stock up your fridge tonight. Will you be paying up front, like?
When Sticky loaded up the tour bus, he decided to rearrange some items. He pulled out Johnny's guitar and placed it against the wall. Having done that, he had to answer a call of nature. That was when the guitar was stolen. When Sticky returned, there was no sign of the guitar or the thief, but there was a telephone kiosk. Sticky dialed a number he knew off by heart. It was a bad line.
It's me.
Who?
Sticky.
Sicky?
No, Sticky.
Nasty key?
No, Sticky.
What do you want?
This is the big one. An important order. I can't let my man down. You got to get me 12 jars at least. Soon we'll have the whole music biz sucking on this stuff.
Good man. Good man. That's what we like to hear. Turn up at the usual place in an hour. I'll have all the sauce you want.
Vaseline was involved in important horseradish research, and if he couldn't obtain the grants he needed to further his experiments, then he would have to take matters into his own hands.
Get in.
Have you got the stuff, like?
Have you got the money, like? Rich the treasure, sweet the pleasure. And you can always double your money by folding it in half.
The black market was a way of keeping Vaseline's laboratory going, and it paid for a good night out, which, Sticky wasn't having.
I got a good mind to smear your balls with this. You realize what that guitar meant to me, you piece of shit?
I only turned around for a second.
Look, mate. Johnny ain't feeling too good, so I don't care what it takes, but I want to see a damn good guitar back in this room by the afternoon, or I'll personally hold you out the bleeding window by your ears. And that's if I'm in a good mood.
I'm a bit short of beans this week, sir.
You can work it off during a tour. And we're watching you. Understand?
Sticky returned to Guitar City and found Keris's dodgy instrument still for sale. It had been nipping prospective buyers and remained unsold. Sticky was never able to detect its changes in colour. All rock guitars were the same to him.
Pinky? It's kind of a girl's colour, ain't it?
Well, it's a kind of red, really. A special edition paint job.
You don't say, huh?
I'll leave you to it then, Mr. Bendix.
Johnny tried some of Sticky's sauce and then played his new guitar. It felt different. The vampire guitar sampled Johnny's blood. Downstairs in the hotel foyer, I was propping up the desk, just like a hotel porter.
Yeah, nobody touches the guitars except me, pal.
Just trying to be helpful, sir.
Well, shift that lot then.
I had a strange feeling that devilry was afoot. The extensions were on stage for a second night, and Johnny played one of his wailing solos. Then, as his reputation demanded, he toyed flamboyantly with his instrument. The guitar forced its way up to Johnny's face, and he had no alternative but to play it with his teeth.
Whoa, look at that, man. Only 2 or 3 others have done that before. Go, Johnny, go!
Johnny was being promoted as the new Messiah, and his guitar sound and antics were becoming legendary. But to look at him, you wouldn't believe it. Despite his success, Johnny was looking like a loser.
Look, Johnny, don't blow it. You're bigger now. Absolutely huge. You're world class. Even Roadie and TV quizmasters want to meet you.
Maxie mistakenly thought the horseradish was ruining Johnny's health.
You gotta leave this stuff alone. It's killing you. Tell you what, Johnny, I'll buy you an off licence one day. Just promise me you'll give up on the horseradish. Yeah, well, maybe we should ease up on the schedule. I'll look at next month and try and lose a few dates. What you say? Here, fancy a nice glass of milk, son?
I found myself in the guise of a milkman and soon felt compelled to deliver a pinter to the local police station. Perhaps something is falling into place. These clues are a message from a friendly power that's trying to help us.
Let's get this straight now. There have been 2 mysterious deaths, and you say a blood-sucking creature or thing is responsible. And that there may be a musical connection.
Yes. Would that be 2 pints of milk or 3, Inspector?
Is it full cream? What? Don't you change the subject?
Oh, I think I'm getting a feeling.
Not on my carpet, you don't.
No, I'm sure the evil has visited us again. I have this tingling sensation whenever it happens.
Tingling? The only thing that's going to tingle around here are my cell keys when I lock you up for wasting my time again. Right, I'll be there straight away.
On the other side of town, Johnny Bendix lay in a crumpled heap on his bed.
I told him time and time again, but he wouldn't listen.
Oh. I'm reliably informed that this makes Vindaloo curry seem like mother's milk, sir. It's not to be trifled with.
But Inspector Smollett missed the distinctive mark again.
Terrible shame, sir. Such a wonderful showbiz career. Cut short by a heart attack, I've just been told.
The band won't be going through a purple phase without Jimmy. I'll just have to kiss the sky, same as I did when his brother died.
Excuse me?
Johnny's guitar and personal possessions were sold off at a renowned auction house.
Lot 664 is a black and gold jacket owned by the extraordinary and mercurial Johnny Bendix. The item was worn by him during his last performance. Now, what am I bid for this unique costume? Who'll start me off at £100? 80 then? 60. Thank you, madam. Going once, going twice. Sold to the lady in the white wet dress. Lot 665 is one of the stars of the sale this afternoon. Mr. Bendix's very own guitar. A fretted maple neck with a tremolo and 3 pickups, the pickup at the bridge being angled, and the whole on an alder wood body with the pattern expected of a rock and roll great. This surely will be an icon one day. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Who'll start me off at £600? 500? 4? Oh, 3 anywhere. 240, madam? No? Sure? At 240 then. Selling once, selling twice. Sold to Mr. Gordon Jones. I'm sure this guitar will be a worthy addition to his renowned collection.
After making his winning bid, Gordon took the guitar home. When he entered his hallway, he stopped to read a postcard.
Still getting over Frankie's horrible accident. Decided to stay till the weekend. Love, Moira.
Gordon went upstairs to his music gallery. His collection of rock icons and guitars was matchless. He was ahead of the game and was sure that these investments would pay off handsomely one day.
Wait, one more masterpiece. To think that discount carpets, a little factory and a chain of chip shops have made me one of the world's top collectors. Thank you, God. I play just like Johnny. I use both hands. Way.
At Pawelko University, I was frantically searching through a mass of books. I tried to identify the mark I saw on Nerys' neck the night of the accident. There were images of broken mirrors with different arrangements of cracks that had various meanings. There were faces with odd eyes and carvings in the shape of raw heads and monsters. But I was slowly beginning to drift away again. In another part of Pawelko, Sticky was looking for new accommodation.
How much do you want for this then?
30 quid a month. Payment in advance. You can do what you like in there. No questions asked.
Oh, great. I can just see loads of sophisticated chicks queuing up to shag the last of the big spenders in there.
Let's hope for us all then.
Over at his music gallery, Gordon strutted around strumming his new guitar. When he hit the strings, he yelped.
Ow. No doubt about it. What a mean guitar.
He took off to buy some plasters while I sleepwalked my way onto the night shift at a local chip shop.
How much is Savoy and chips?
20 and 30. 25 pence makes nearly £1. That's over 80 pence, sir. Possibly.
Well, just chips then.
As Gordon returned, his car headlights swept over the thirsty guitar.
Moira, is that you? You're back already, love.
Moira wasn't around, but the wailing got louder. So Gordon entered his rock museum. He thought he'd left the jack plug in the guitar. He moved closer. Immediately, the beast clamped Gordon's head tightly to his wire strings. He tried to push himself free, but it was as if he was held by some mighty constrictor which tightened its steely grip with each of Gordon's diminishing breaths. Over at the chip shop, a group of Japanese tourists, keen to sample some ethnic cuisine, placed their order. That'll be 4 dragon burgers, 5 pickled eggs, and you'll need some yakiniku sauce. Obviously. The inevitable camera flash brought me to my senses. I realized I had strayed again. Sticky, meanwhile, was passing by Gordon's house, which was unknown to him. He saw a door ajar. Times were hard, life was tough, and he needed to pay his rent. But Gordon had a nosy neighbour.
Anybody in? Hello? Somebody order pizza or chips, maybe?
There was no one around, so Sticky went upstairs and found Gordon's gallery. When he saw the collection, his pulse quickened. All the guitar greats' instruments were here.
Pie and chips tomorrow night with gravy.
Then he spotted the reddest guitar he had ever seen.
Too valuable to identify, eh?
Gordon's body fell forward. Sticky fought back just in case someone else jumped in.
I didn't know it was your policeman! Gordon, I wouldn't,
Then he realized he was alone, or as alone as anyone can be with a corpse on top of them. But he knew he had to make himself scarce and quickly.
Another one of those slasher incidents. Send a car to the university immediately. I want Professor Van Hellbent Jr. here as soon as possible.
We've caught a suspicious-looking character outside, sir.
Right, bring him in, Williams. Well done, lad. Phew, what's that smell?
Sticky bolted down a side street with the red thing. Jet, a formidable hound, was out for his evening constitutional when the guitar strap shot past his nose. He bit on it and ran after Sticky, who thought he'd been caught by a police dog.
It wasn't me, officer, honest, Hey, come on now, you crappy machine! Come on now, get off!
What is the price of fish these days?
Almost finishing here, Inspector.
Good, good. Now look, Gordon Jones was a self-made man.
Like Frankenstein?
No, in business. Cheap carpets, cut-price guitars, fast food, that sort of thing. He was worth a bit too.
So you think it might have been a business rival or a burglar, Inspector?
I'm not sure. Jones spent a lot of his cash on rock memorabilia. His wounds are just like those on the other victims. I think we've got a serial killer here. Some mad man or mad woman with a grudge against the rock world. Look at this.
I've never seen anything quite like it before, except on the other bodies. I'm convinced it's the work of a bloodsucker, but I haven't been able to identify this mark in my vampire directories yet.
Well, whoever the killer is, they must have a funny set of gnashers. You could open beer bottles with a mouth like that. Maybe we should call a dentist.
Hang on, I'll draw his teeth first.
Shut up, you flea bag! It's a guitar strap, not a sausage!
Seeing the blue lights in the distance, Sticky reluctantly gave up the struggle and disappeared into the night. The dog took a shortcut through a cemetery. As he loped along, the guitar bounced off a few gravestones which temporarily dulled its killer instincts. These were further checked by the odd stone cross that got in the way of the bizarre convoy. Outside her fabulous home stood Tanya de Villeneuve, a former rock queen.
Jet boy, come on in now, baby. There's a good dog. Come on now, Jet. Jet! Well, what you got there, boy? This makes a change from the usual old shoes and chicken bones, eh, Jet? Good dog. Good dog. Mummy's got you some lovely dead cat pate inside. Come on, love.
While the hound gulped down his supper, Tanya fondled the bruised guitar. When she plugged it in and played it, the sound was spine-tinglingly good.
This could be it. Gwenda, I want you and the girls round here tomorrow morning. I think I've got it. The sound that will restore the stilettos to their rightful place in heavy metal's Premier League. There's still a ton of fans out there that want us to make a comeback. I want it to happen. You want it to happen. The studio wants it to happen. Even Jet wants it to happen. Look, until today, we've been missing that vital ingredient. Talent. Now, come on, Gwenda. That's no way to talk. This band isn't just image, you know. We're interesting. We've got each other. And what with a few bone-shaking riffs and a bit of extra promotion, I think we can relaunch the band.
What with? A costume change?
No. A secret weapon. Try this for size, lady. Go on, Erica. Smack it. Isn't it great? right. It's going to go down in history as a psychic chord. It's a miracle.
The Grand Pavilion, so recently the venue of Johnny Bendix and his band, was to showcase the reformed Stilettos. The group had been a one-hit wonder, then hit the skids after their rhythm guitarist swallowed somebody else's body fluids and died. The publicity was not good. It was a mystery the police declared was better left to scientific minds. Professor Vaseline had been involved in the investigation, and though the case was inconclusive, it had launched him into the world of gooey liquids. And the case gave the Stilettos a certain notoriety, which they still enjoyed. But there was trouble in the changing room.
We are not wearing biker gear. It's so dated.
But it's what everybody wants to see. It's sexy and, you know, dangerous. Come on.
Gwenda's right. If this is to be a comeback, we've got to be sort of now. A bit ironic, maybe. You know, expand people's minds.
You can whack a grenade in their ears if you wanna, or you can give them good old heavy-duty rock. Throw in some skin-tight leather and this great new guitar sound, and they'll be gagging for more. Right, bring it in now. Oh, hasn't half improved since I plonked it in there.
Looks like something from a Dracula film, if you ask me.
Well, I'm not asking. I'm telling. Get out there and suck 'em dry.
The Stilettos took to the stage for the first time in years. During one of Erica's solos, Tanya stroked her lucky mascot. After all, it had brought the band their new sound.
You'll never have to eat tripe again, my son. Neither will you, Sticky.
The concert sound carried on the air as far as the other side of town. It drifted through a window at the university like a zephyr. I could hear the music in the background, but I was still engrossed in a search for the mark that the murder victims had on their necks. Voodoo schmoodoo. Voodoo you bloody well think you are, Van Hellbent. Over at the theatre, Erica had the hornet guitar on her hip. As she leant forward to deliver a string-bending frenzy, her religious jewellery got in the way. The band became confused and the fans agitated. There was pandemonium and the concert was abandoned. The crazed guitar was thrown aside but howled on, and the distraught band ran for the exit. Just then I felt dizzy and the world started to go out of focus again. The following morning, a sandwich board man clattered about outside the theatre. It was me, of course. I felt uncomfortable but had yet to work out why. Inside, a cleaning lady shuffled into the dressing room that had been occupied by the Stilettos.
I don't know what the world is coming to. Bloody musicians leaving a mess like this, and the girls are worse than the boys. If God had wanted us to go around naked, we would have been born that way. Disgusting. Hello? Hello? Oh, fancy leaving this behind. Oh, you are a big boy.
When I heard the scream outside the theatre, I realised I was meant to be inside. A gurgle drew me in the direction of the dressing room. I found a pitiful sight. Oh no.
OK, take the banjo away once you've done the fingerprinting.
This mark is the same one, Inspector. The same as all the others.
Right, that's it. It's those high-heel witches. Bring 'em in. I want the whole band arrested. All the victims have been topped in some sort of connection with the rock business. But God knows why they should have taken out a granny like this. She's practically been eaten. That horseradish stuff must drive 'em nuts.
The Stilettos had a very good lawyer.
Alibis. Everybody's got a bloody alibi. What's worse, they all check out. And that blonde bomb creature, Tanya de Villeneuve, Tanya the villain more like, she says her dog is in traction. Where's it going to end?
Down in the cells there was a new prisoner who had been arrested for disorderly behaviour. The inmate had a tattoo of a bat on his neck. He called it his protector and guardian of the night. He was brought a tray of tea and sandwiches by Constable Williams.
Blimey, aren't you Keith Pritchard of the Bones? I've got all your audio cassettes. Could I trouble you for an autograph, sir?
How do I know that you won't use it in a bent confession? Just kidding, kitty out. Oi, have you added something to my beggar's banquet? What the fuck is that?
Oh, that'll be Inspector Smollett, Mr. Pritchard. I think he's a frustrated country and western artist. Ever since you brought a red guitar in as evidence, he hasn't been able to resist the odd twang.
But I only strummed it a couple of times.
Sarge, whether he likes it or not, I think he's going to have to go on sick leave. All we've got is another name on this list of mysterious murders. We're at a dead end, like. And Inspector Smollett needs a rest.
Yeah, he's not been the same since this rock and roll caper began.
Yeah. And if I ever hear his guitar boogie shuffle again, I'll eat my own truncheon.
That's it. No more references. I've exhausted every known fact, entry and word on vampires and the undead. I vowed never to seek help from the family, but I admit I'm beat. Great Uncle Augustus, it's time to climb the ancestral tree and sample the vodka berries. St. Petersburg, here I come. While I took the train to Russia, life in Pontycombe carried on as normal.
Well, P.C. Williams, what can I do you for?
I thought you could do with this.
Did you know I was a musical prodigy? When I was 5, I wrote my first song. When I was 6, I made my first album. At 7, I wrote a complete rock opera. And at 7:30, I normally have a snort of the white stuff. I don't suppose you got any? Just joking, son.
Behind the university, near some narrow passageways, Professor Vaseline had his private lab. This is where he mixed up the raw ingredients that were the basis of his secret project. He was the horseradish king. Vaseline had perfected a sauce potent and addictive enough to stand alongside any recreational drug, but the vital thing was that it was based on a native plant. Vaseline's work was originally dedicated to the cure of ingrowing toenails, and the powerful sauce was a byproduct. His formula was habit-forming, and for that reason had never been approved by the Medicines Control Agency. Horseradish mixed with vinegar and cream was a popular meat relish, but Vaseline mixed it with other unsavory ingredients to create a hellish cocktail. Though he'd been foiled by the Control Agency, he was not going to throw away his years of research. And he didn't know it yet, but Sticky was about to penetrate his inner sanctum.
Who is it?
It's me, your cousin. Open up, I'm freezing.
All right, but getting quick. You know I don't like visitors here. What do you want?
Lost my last job after a riot at the concert. And there was a murder. The rock scene in this town is in a right mess. I'm skint, starving, and I got no one else to turn to. You got to help me. I need a job of some sort.
I've got nothing for you, Sticky. My university work requires scientific knowledge, and the source is a secret formula. I couldn't possibly share it.
You don't care a fiddler's fart for me. You never have.
When we were at school, who's good at chemistry?
Guy Fawkes.
I know it was a long time ago, dimwit, but try again. Who?
Einstein.
He was a physicist, corkbrain. No, it was me. I was good at chemistry, and everything I was good at, you were hopeless at. How you and I can claim to come from the same gene pool never ceases to amaze me. You've got what you deserve. All I can do is put you on my list of dealers.
But I'm already on your list of dealers.
Well, then you're in luck.
As I walked along the banks of the River Neva in St. Petersburg, the place made me tingle. Maybe it was being close to some of my ancestors, or maybe it was just the ferocious cold. I soon turned down a flagstone street with grand houses, one of which was occupied by the Van Helbent's Russian branch, my dear Aunt Olga. She had a well-heated apartment here.
Ah, my dear great little nephew, thank you for your letters. Please have some walnut vodka. It will warm you after the cold outside. You are welcome to browse through the notes my father, your great-great-uncle, made in his investigations.
Thank you, great-aunt.
Hard work never hurt anyone who used somebody else to do it. Shame you are on your own, my dear one. I would help, but I have an assignation with Shostakovich.
Yes, well, I'm definitely on my own with this one, great-aunt.
Good hunting. I will leave you the bottle.
I knuckled down to my task and soon found links to Fangland and all the areas that I needed to investigate. There were even references to sorcerers pulling apart corpses and throwing their flesh to the four winds. Fascinating, but probably irrelevant. Now, let's see what we've got under vampires. 2,000 miles to the west, a prisoner left Ponticum's police station.
So you got away with it this time, but we'll keep an eye on you, Mr. Pritchard. Try and behave yourself and keep your nose clean, if you know what I mean.
I'm a reformed character, Sergeant. I'm gonna give up sex, drugs, and annoying the neighbours.
Christ, that'll be a tough 5 minutes.
Keith Pritchard had a welcome home party. He sat in the pub with two friends and feasted on vodka and crisps.
Not exactly caviar, is he?
So, when we off to Russia, Mick?
Next week. East European fans are down to see us. And we got all sorts of deals going on.
You're a son of a gun. Or should I say, Kalashnikov? I tell you what, that guitar over there will be an handy spare. We could even use it for a little bit of trade. The Ruskies haven't got much in the way of top-notch rock gear. They pay handsomely for that with premium Siberian white. Rasputin!
Some guys I'm working with want to stock up on the sauce. They'll need cheering up while they're away from home.
They say money only brings misery. Mind you, with money, you can afford it. Give them the latest batch of Satan's syrup. That should give them the tonic they deserve.
3,000 kilometers to the east, Aunt Olga's friend Shostakovich hurried to his next performance. I can't find anything that helps, Great Aunt. It's the end of the road. I'm a failure and I've let the family down. I feel like I've thrown a stone into the air and missed.
I will let you into a family secret. As well as this great library, my father also had a secret room. That is where the most valuable and most rare papers are kept. Come with me, my child.
She hadn't called me that since yesterday, but I was keen to follow and learn all I could. Far to the south near Moscow's Red Square, Keefe and the Bones checked into their hotel. The British rockers and a few Slavonic groupies were joined by a couple of roadies. One of them was Sticky. He entered his room and the phone rang before he could say, Sputnik.
Oh, mate, I need you to do something for me.
Oh, yeah, hi, Keith. Mr. Pritchard.
My room, as soon as you can. Right, I want you to take that junk and offload it in exchange for 50 jars of top-notch Siberian white horseradish. I don't want any of that second-rate shit the crew are using. That's just chalk. This guitar's a spare, see? And I'll need the genuine sauce to keep me perky in this godforsaken place.
I had one like that once.
Now go on, don't hang about. We're playing a concert tomorrow night, and if I don't get a fix soon, I'll be in a hell of a state. Admit her, Put the goose in the bleeding bathroom, girl, before it craps itself. And when you've done that, I've got a little job for you in the bedroom.
Oh, Kievsky.
Sticky stepped out into the street. He turned a corner and saw some characters lingering about in the doorways. It looked like a possible black market hangout. Sticky didn't look or smell like a militia man or a cop, so they ignored him. Keefe and Ludmilla were proving that the occasional frosty relations between East and West were just a political hiccup. When people got this close together, who cared about tomorrow?
Start me up, little sister.
Oh. I want it so much. Oh, Kievsky. Why is so big? It's huge. Oh, it make me feel like a queen. Oh, oh, oh.
After a couple of hours, Sticky had had enough. He made for the warmth of a bar, which happened to be the Chorny Kot, Moscow's answer to the Black Cat.
English, Danish, Swedish. Like Berlin's a magic one. Welcome to Russia, my friend. Welcome to my country.
Can I get you a drink?
Well, thank you. Thank you. Boris Orlov at your service. Давай vodka. The barman will want your dollars or your Welsh pounds.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Good vodka. 2 more, yes?
I suppose. How many girls here tonight?
More girls here Saturday night. Tonight, here is money exchange. American cigarettes. Sometimes goose pate. You have something between your legs, yes?
Hey, what's your game? I'm not here to get picked up, old man.
Of course not, my friend. I was looking at the balalaika thing under your coat.
What? Oh, that. Yes, well, I'm trying to sell it. Don't suppose you're interested.
An hour later, Sticky stumbled back to his hotel. Half a bottle of vodka and thoughts of Keith Pritchard's likely wrath churning around inside him.
Christ, that Keith's got a nerve.
It wasn't the hotel manager either.
I am Svetlana. Maybe I keep you company.
I don't suppose you take credit.
Maybe you have the English cigarettes. We can talk first. Tell me about himself. Are you a musician, maybe? Maybe do you know how much polar bear weighs? Neither do I, but it break ice, yes?
I could have been a contender, Mr. Keith the Riff Pritchard. I could enjoy pulling Ludmilla's and Svetlana's, having Roadies do all the dirty work, having my name in the rock magazines. I could be great if I could play a bit.
The anemic guitar called to him, and it wasn't even plugged in. Sticky dragged his hand over the strings and the guitar danced under his fingertips. Within moments he was playing like a guitar pro, though the guitar seemed to change colour and his fingers began to sting. As he passed the mirror on the wardrobe door, he glanced up with a rock sneer. He saw himself, but where was the guitar? His jaw dropped, then his door flew open.
What the bleeding hell is going on here, then? What are you still doing with that guitar? I thought I told you to get out there and flog it for some stuff. Apart from which, How are me and the miller supposed to trade licks with you doing an impression of one of those talent show cretins?
Nobody wanted it, Mr. Pritchard. All I was offered were a few boxes of stale fags and some funny-coloured tights. And I nearly froze to death.
I don't care if they use your bollocks as ice cubes. You're both a bloody waste of space.
For the next 2 days, the Bones attended a number of press conferences and radio interviews around Moscow. While the band were on the publicity circuit, Sticky was installing equipment at the concert hall. He returned to his hotel a tired man. As he crossed over to his bathroom, he heard a tremulous summons. His succulent fingers were drawn to the guitar. He picked up the instrument and he was immediately energized. Sticky was in raptures. Despite the pinpricks of blood that dropped from his hand, he was in ecstasy. The night music changed his mood. There she was. She must have walked these corridors most evenings looking for lonely businessmen. Sticky wanted to taste Svetlana. She recognized his hunger. She put aside the memory of his vomit. He wanted to be with her, and tonight he would pay any price. Svetlana entered the bedroom one last time. The next morning, Sticky's first thought was to report Svetlana's death. Maybe she'd had too much Siberian white or something. As he stretched out to reach for the phone, he heard the guitar. It was like a Morse code. Don't do it. He took Svetlana to the concert hall. The Bones dazzled the Russian crowd. A pale-looking Sticky watched in the wings, holding onto his red and now glistening companion. Suddenly, Keith threw off his usual instrument and rushed towards Sticky and grabbed his guitar.
Let it bleed!
Keith raised the horned one over his head and slammed it down like an axe. There was a spurt, then torrent of red liquid. The guitar body broke up, and the crowd became hysterical as the stage became awash with blood. A miasma erupted from the liquid, a noxious, fetid vapor that produced a smell so foul that everyone gagged. Pandemonium followed, and there was a rush for the exits. Keith staggered off with his band. Sticky, who was not affected by the fumes, went backstage to the large trunk he'd brought from his hotel. He gently lifted Svetlana's body and placed her in the front row. He kissed her forehead tenderly. Hearing some voices at the back of the hall, Sticky could just make out the silhouetted figures of the Moscow Fire Brigade in their gas masks. He moved as fast as his tormented body allowed him. He salvaged the damaged guitar. He saved his master. It was all over the news the next day.
No one knows where the blood came from, but in post-Cold War Russia, strange things can happen. Staring into the abyss of extremist forces, many people are predicting the second coming of Ivan the Terrible to rid the country of...
Despite my high hopes, the really strange book department at Aunt Olga's was mostly dedicated to extreme occult studies. They gave me no answers. Despite the setback, I was still convinced that I would find a missing link in this part of the world. On the St. Petersburg to Pontycum Express, I read the papers. Glad to see you looking so well, Inspector.
Thank you, Professor. I reckon someone had spiked my tea. A most unfortunate episode, but everything seems to be all right now, except for the 5 unsolved murders and a blood-stained ballroom in Russia that's straining diplomatic relations.
This is your man, Inspector. A Roadie. Find him and we'll find the answer to our problem. Now look at the shape of that guitar. Look at the horns on its body. Look at them very hard.
It's the mark on the victims' necks. My God, I think I've handled that cursed instrument myself. I never realised.
There was hysteria in Russia when the Bones played there. But how much of it was induced by the evil nature of the guitar? I'd say 90%. This is unique in the annals of vampire study. An apparently inanimate object with a taste for blood. Oh, sure, there's been fiction involving cars and other weird contraptions, but this is a case of the undead taking over the power of music. The force that can take us outside of ourselves and turn us into angels or devils.
But wait a minute. Why didn't the victims become crazed killers too?
Because, Inspector, it's virtually impossible for humans to become blood-sucking guitars.
Oh, yes, of course. Right then. We'll put out an all-points bulletin on this character, and he'll lead us to the evil one or thing.
That's it. My finest sauce yet. This'll match the stuff coming in from the east. I'll soon have enough money to last me a lifetime. And there'll be none for that adhesive cousin of mine.
Things were hotting up.
A caravan site.
Right. It's vital that you keep your men back, Inspector. And don't move in until I have given you the all-clear. We're dealing with unimaginable levels of evil here. And unless we synchronize everything, there's no telling what this thing might unleash.
Above all, I must be ready.
Inspector Smollett realized his hour had come.
Right, men and women. We must not turn our back on this danger and try and run away from it. If we do that, the danger will double. But if we tackle it head on without going weak at the knees, we will reduce the danger by a lot. Good luck, everybody.
A figure crept out of the university chemistry building. It was Professor Vaseline. Suddenly, there was a mechanical groan, then a roar above him. I prepared myself for what I knew would be a career-defining confrontation. My study looked like the closing down sale in an ecclesiastical supply shop. As I rummaged around making sure I had not forgotten anything, I realized I didn't feel myself. Again.
Excuse me, sir, but there's a load of garlic blocking the principal's office at the moment. The driver left a note saying it's addressed to, you. Sir. Sir. I beg your pardon, sir.
Sticky was out of work again, but now he had a mission. He carved something from an old chair inside his caravan. It turned out to be a giant impaling plectrum.
If you could play like that for me, you'd make me a star. 'Cause all I can do is play on people's nerves.
He succumbed to the power of the vampire guitar. I woke from my trance and found myself within 50 meters of Sticky's caravan. A white guitar hung around my body. Then the door of Sticky's caravan flew open. A gaunt roadie and a shimmering red guitar emerged. That's when I stepped forward. I recognize you despite your bloodless pallor. You're Sticky. I am your nemesis.
I suppose you fancy yourself as a wizard on the guitar. Thing is, I can outplay anyone with the help of my bloody friend here.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
What am I saying? I've hardly played a guitar in my life.
Okay, I challenge you to a duel. The last man to keep playing wins.
Couldn't we have a garlic throwing competition instead? Well, maybe then,
Right. You're on.
Terror! Mayhem! Chaos! Let battle commence!
An elderly woman was woken up from her afternoon nap by the guitar duel. She walked towards an open window. As Lucy passed the mantelpiece, she glanced at a photograph of herself with her twin sister, Lillian.
It's them bloody noisy lads, Lily. They don't give us no peace since you went. No peace at all. It's got to stop. Oh, I wish you were here to tear their guts out. They play their music morning, day and night. They got no consideration. What's the world coming to?
Lucy stepped out onto her balcony. She was carrying a large bucket of her caustic washing-up liquid. The recipe had been gifted to the twins' ancestors by gypsies in exchange for shelter at a time of danger to the travellers. The potent brew was guaranteed to remove ghouls, deadly germs and evil odours forever. It contained amoricia, rusticana and vitiosus, a toxic form of horseradish. Barely able to stand in the hurricane created by the stereophonic terrors, Lucy could take it no longer. She tipped her bucket of mortiferous juice over the duelists. All of it fell onto Sticky and the open ground around him. The virulent liquid short-circuited the exposed metal parts and caused the horned guitar to explode into 1,000 fragments, vaporizing Sticky in the process.
That's the most incredible thing I've ever seen or heard. You've been hiding your light under... Well, that's hopefully put paid to the forces of the Horned One. I should think we both do accommodation for today's work, Professor. Perhaps even the Nobel Peace Prize for you.
I think I'd prefer the MTV Award for Best Newcomer.
What's that, man? Speak up!
Sidestepping some roadworks, a family crossed the high street and walked into Guitar City. A salesman approached them. He had a vague resemblance to Sticky. But Sticky was dead, of course.
Mr. and Mrs. Lloyd, sorry to keep you. I've worked out the repayments on the items you mentioned with regard to your gifted daughter. Now, let's sit down and I can take you through the figures.
As her parents got down to business, their teenage daughter wandered through the store. Her eye was caught by a red guitar which looked brighter than all the others. It shone like nothing she had ever seen before. As she moved closer, she heard what sounded like a fairy's breath on its strings, a secret whisper that captivated her. The girl spoke softly and adoringly.
You're beautiful. We are meant for each other.
The guitar moaned expectantly, and the girl was drawn closer.
Okay, thank you, cast. We're off the air. Well done, everybody. You're finished.
So, what did you think of that, then?
Well, actually, I'm rather glad it's all over.
Is it stuck?
It seems to be. We're locked in!
Oh, no!
Bloody hell!
What's that?
Can't be.
So you think it's all over? Not until I tell you I was onto the villainy at an early stage. As for the actors trapped in the radio studio, well, I've only just heard about them, so I'm off to investigate.
Good night.